For all of the attention and focus on measurement, efficiency, and continuous improvement in production, there's rarely an analogous emphasis on revenue growth. Often, strategy, marketing, and sales are really just an agglomeration of ad hoc tactics and activities. Welcome. I'm Ed Marsh, the host of the Industrial Growth Institute podcast. Welcome and thank you for joining. Manufacturing, grit, self-sufficiency, innovation, and relentless determination made America what it is. To me, there's something magical about the process through which new inventions are conceived and refined, and then turned into products as the steel is cut and bent, controllers are programmed, logistics are managed, and application engineers tune performance. I love the smell of cutting oil, of melting resin, of tape and corrugated, welding, crates and pallets, and other processes associated with industrial manufacturing. And I have tremendous respect for the evolution and improvement of manufacturing. It's been driven by the introduction of rigor and the mindset that companies bring to their manufacturing and operations. Process engineering, continuous improvement, management by metrics, all of those best practices are about constantly improving efficiency and quality. But here's the thing. For all of the attention and focus on measurement, efficiency, and continuous improvement in production, there's rarely an analogous emphasis on revenue growth. Unlike the precise, orchestrated, and carefully measured manufacturing, instead, often strategy, marketing, and sales are really just an agglomeration of ad hoc tactics and activities. And that's a shame because there's no reason that companies can't take the same approach. I mean, after all, as Drucker said, the purpose of business is to create and keep a customer. That means that in the estimation of one of the preeminent thinkers in business, marketing and sales are more important than production. Now, is adopting the mindset of process engineering from operations and applying it to marketing and sales easy? No, of course not. But neither was implementing ISO, lean manufacturing, and other best practices when companies did it to their manufacturing 20 or 30 years ago. And this is complex. Revenue growth for middle market industrial manufacturing is a complex process. We can and should think of it as a system. In my overall revenue effectiveness framework, it's a revenue growth analog to OEE from the machine and manufacturing world. I identify about 200 areas of focus with a number of integrations and relationships between aspects of a program. Normally, middle market industrial companies think about a few of them. They often manage them as siloed activities without integrating the various efforts into a cohesive revenue growth approach that mirrors the buying journey. And that's a problem. I mean, after all, we've heard the research that says that buyers are 70% of the way through their buying journey before they want to speak to a sales rep. That means that marketing needs to sell in addition to creating brand awareness, supporting sales, and promoting a company's ability to solve problems. If we're only one buyer during the research, maybe we'd be okay, but we've seen the graphics of the chaotic buying journey made more so by buying teams of 8 to 12 people, the growing risk aversion, and elongated buying journeys. Today's buyers not only hide in the shadows of the internet, but they oscillate between research and action, between our traditional marketing functions and sales. And for every big ticket, long sales cycle, complex sales, there's 8 to 12 people from the company doing the same thing in parallel, but often uncoordinated, with each having different preferences and priorities. So there's a lot of pieces that have to be woven together. And that's the premise of the Industrial Growth Institute. During this growth journey we'll take together, we'll dive into opportunities, challenges, evolving best practices, and alarming trends across the full range of revenue growth. We'll talk about inorganic and organic growth, board of directors perspectives, transactions, generational transfer. We'll explore countless topics in manufacturing, marketing, and industrial sales, and we'll look at the role of technology in improving buyer experiences and making revenue growth teams more effective and efficient. In each episode of this podcast, I'll interview a guest who brings a fascinating story and an important perspective. We'll come to understand how their ideas have evolved through their own growth and changing markets. We'll dig into tactical and actionable angles, and we'll zoom out to see how those fit into an overall integrated revenue growth strategy appropriate for B2B industrials. Each episode will focus on the realities of the industrial manufacturing world, and I'm confident that everyone, From owner, board director, and investor through executives and managers to individual contributors in strategy, marketing, sales, and technology disciplines, will find ideas and inspiration in each episode individually. Then across the trajectory of episodes, we'll help you build a robust, effective revenue growth system for predictable revenue growth. Thanks for joining me on this journey to help American manufacturers market and sell as well as they manufacture. And please help me share this amazing body of expertise and insights with others. You know the drill. Like the podcast, give us a review, and share it with others. Thank you.